Hi, I'm Jody Rubin, and I'm going to discuss the Professional Counseling Skills discussion thread video blog. I read the chapters and I watched the videos that corresponded to the chapters, and it is how I imagined how a counseling session to be. Both counselors seem to have a strong therapeutic alliance with their clients. They use the Solar Active Listening model by sitting up straight with an open posture. They were leaning forward, they had good eye contact, and they seemed relaxed. In the first video with Stephanie and Counselor Powell, I noticed him nodding his head a lot and he was leaning in. He paraphrased and said, "It sounds like," and "Tell me more." And he said, "I get a sense that balancing is important to you. Tell me more." And "I'm sensing frustration." He repeatedly said, "Tell me more." And what I'm hearing is he seemed to really be paying attention. He told her that he noticed that she took a deep breath and asked her to think about why she did that when she probably didn't even realize that she had done that. At the end of the session, he summarized and said, "We talked about, and when you come back, we can pick up from there." And very importantly, he said, "How does that sound to you?" In the second video with Mariah and Dr. Takas, he started by summarizing what they talked about in the last session, which I thought was helpful. He asked how it went when she went out on a date with the guy that she previously talked about. It showed that he really cared about her. He asked follow-up questions, and very importantly, he asked, "How are you feeling?" He brought up things that she previously said that she wanted to work on in counseling and her goals for counseling. And he challenged or confronted her just a bit to show her when she was being contradictory. He pushed her, but not too hard, just the right amount. And then he asked her what her thoughts were on that. He reminded her of what she said in the past. He asked her if she was doing the things that she wanted to do. And he used phrases like, "What it sounds like," and "Does that sound right?" He then brought it back to the here and now and said how we can get you to be more independent, which was one of the goals that she said she wanted to work on. And he did ask what her thoughts were. And what I liked about it is that the client had to come up with the ideas. He continued to nod and he said, "What are some things that you could do between this week's session and next week's session?" So he gave her a homework assignment. He made sure that they were measurable interventions. For example, he suggested that she had to do 2 things between the 2 sessions. And I also like that he broke things down for her and he asked the question, what is causing the anxiety? He was trying to get her to really figure out what it meant. And he asked her to change her way of thinking and perceiving others. He asked her not to make assumptions, and he asked her to give specifics, not generalizations. And he too summarized at the end of the session. He said, "We see there's a pattern in your behavior and try these interventions." And he ended with, "What's your thoughts on that?" If I had to ask the counselor one question, it would be to the counselor in the first video. And it would be, what would you do if the client said that you, the counselor, were frustrating me, the client, because you're not giving me concrete steps on how to have a better balance with work, and that you're just acknowledging what I'm saying, and that is not good enough. Like, what if the client said to the counselor after he said, quote, "I get a sense that balancing is important to you." If she then said, "Yes, you're just repeating back to me what I just told you and you're not helping me at all." How would you handle that and how would you respond? Thank you. See you next time.